So we're going to solve a system of three equations. We started off with the equation 6x minus y plus 3z is negative 9, the 5x equation, then the 3x equation. And we're trying to find the value x, y, and z such that when you plug them into all of these equations, you get negative 9, 20, and negative 5. So the first step is you put the first two equations together, you put the last two equations together, and then you get to decide which variable do you want to eliminate. So you go through and you decide, do I want to eliminate the x's here and here? Do I want to eliminate the y's here and here? Or do I want to eliminate the z's here or here? So what we have decided to do is to eliminate the y's by making those opposites. Now they are almost opposites. This is 5. We want this to be a negative 5, so we'll multiply by 5. And we get 30x minus 5y plus 15z equals negative 45. And then the other one, and this is part of why we chose to not do x's or z's, because this one I could just leave alone. And notice now the y's are opposites. Okay, so I could go ahead and add those together. Those eliminate. That's part of why we did that. 30x and 5x is 35x. 15 minus 5 is 10. And negative 45 plus 20 is negative 25. Okay, from here, because we eliminated the y's, we have to eliminate the y's on the other one. So I look at this and I say, okay, 5 and negative 1. How do I make those opposites? Well, I just multiply this by 5. I'll put my parenthesis there. And I get 15x minus 5y plus 20z equals negative 25. And then the other one is good the way it is. From there, I add those together. The y's eliminate. We have 5x plus 15x is 20x. Negative 5z plus 20z is 15z. And 20 and negative 25 is negative 5. Now from there, what we're going to do is we're going to take those two green equations and we're going to put those together. I'm going to rewrite those two green equations. So you take those two green equations, you rewrite them as your system, and now from here this should be review. And so probably the easiest method on all of these is going to be elimination. We are going to decide, do I want to eliminate 35 and 20 for the x's, those are kind of large numbers, or 10 and 15. Okay, so I'm going to think about that and probably pick 10 and 15, knowing that if I count by tens, that's 10, 20, 30, If I count by 15s, 15, 30, so the least common multiple of 10 and 15 is 30. So I'm going to make one of these positive 30. So I'll multiply, say, this by 3. And then I want this to be negative 30, so I'll multiply by negative 2. Do the math. Let's see, 35 times 3, 35, 70, 105. 3 times 10 is 30. And then 3 25s would be negative 75. Take negative 2 times 20x, be negative 40x. Negative 2 times 15z would be negative 30z. And negative 2 times negative 5 is 10. From there, we add those two equations together. The z's cancel. Let's see, 105 minus 40 is what, 65? Negative 75 plus 10 is negative 65. Divide both sides by 65. And we get x is negative 1. So I got one of my three variables. I know x is negative 1, or at least I think it is. It's very easy to make a mistake in this. Okay, so that's why at the end it's very important that you check your answer. Now the next variable you should find is based off your green equations. You have x. You can plug x in now. We know x is negative 1, and we can use that to find the z. So it's your choice which equation you want to plug into. I'll just pick the top one. So I'm going to recopy this one. But now I know the value of x. So that's 35 times negative 1. Plus 10 times z is negative 25. So 35 times negative 1 is negative 35. And then I would add 35 to both sides. I get 10z is 10. Divide both sides by 10. And I get z is 1. So from there, we know the x value, we know the z value, and so to find the y value, we need to go back to one of our original equations and pick one. It doesn't matter which one. I'll just pick the top one. 6x minus y plus 3z is negative 9, and I'll write that down here. But now I know z is 1, and I know x is negative 1. So I get 6, but x is negative 1, and I don't know why. And then z is 1. And then I just solve from there. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 6 plus 3 would be negative 3. And then I would add 3 to both sides. Running out of room here. And I get negative y is negative 6. So if negative y is negative 6, that means positive y is positive 6. Okay, somewhere you should put the final answer and say the solution is, let's see, x first, which was negative 1, and then the y, which is 6, and then the z, which is 1. And then maybe because there's so much work, I'll highlight my final answer. And so I just found that if you go back to the original equations and you plug negative 1, 6, and 1 in, you should get 3 true. The last thing I'm going to do is just plug these in, check my work. So 6 times negative 1 would be negative 6. I'll use a different color. And then that would be minus 6. And then plus 3 times 1 would be plus 3. And negative 6 plus negative 6 is negative 12. Negative 12 plus 3 is negative 9, which matches up. So we're good so far. Next, 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. And that'd be negative 10 plus 30, which is 20. So that works. So it works for 2 of the 3. Let's try the one last one. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Minus y, which would be minus 6. Plus 4 times 1, because z is 1, to be plus 4. Do the math. To be negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5. So I just verified that I know 100% that negative 1, 6, 1 is the solution.